I know it is fun to wrestle. A nice pile drive to the face, or a punch to the face. But you cannot do it, because it is in the Bible not to wrestle your neighbor.
So you've never wrestled?
Me? No, come on, don't be crazy. Listen.
I'm sick of hearing about your stupid orphans.
What did you just say?
I hate orphans.
Say it again to my face.
I hate them.
Come again?
I hate all the orphans in the whole world.
This guy doesn't play when it comes to defending orphans. God bless everyone listening. Today I'm going to tell you about one of the greatest living legends of our time. He's still alive but very old, and he's one of the greatest Mexicans and Catholic priests alive today in my opinion. This is the story of the real NACHO LIBRE, Padre Sergio Gutiérrez Benítez, aka Fray Tormenta, a wrestler, a father in the church, and a father to over 2,000 orphans. Here's his story. He grew up in a rough area in Mexico and fell into alcoholism and drug addiction as just a kid. It became a real problem and he couldn't shake the habit. He approached a priest about his addiction and confession, and the priest pushed him away, saying, "This is a church, not a rehab center." He then traveled to find another priest at another parish and asked that priest for help. And that priest cared for him like a son and got him clean. Once clean, he studied theology very deeply and volunteered with mentoring the youth, particularly those with drug addictions. One day, a young teen he had been mentoring, an orphan, told him to rush him to the hospital for he felt he was overdosing. On the way, he asked him to pull over and asked if he would hear his confession. He said, "I'm not a priest." But he said, "I'm not going to make it. I just want you to know that I love you and that you're the only father I ever had." Even retelling this story in his old age, he still wept for the first young orphan who died in his arms. He considered this his call to the holy priesthood. He went to seminary and studied in Mexico's capital, and Spain, and finally the Vatican. As a priest, his main importance was the same thing from the beginning to the end: the homeless, the needy, and most of all, the orphans. There was a severe epidemic of orphans in his day, so he started his own orphanage, where he gathered all the orphans he found in the streets, starting with 270, and he welcomed them into his small orphanage home. And he made a big promise he almost couldn't keep. He committed to giving these orphans good lives and to raise them like his own. He was almost forced by bill collectors and the church leadership to shut down the orphanage due to lack of funds. He prayed, he wept, and he felt no answers from God. Full of depression and anxiety, he had no clue what to do. One day he walked past a movie theater and decided to take a break from his worries. And he watched a movie about luchadores, and he was inspired. He imagined, what if I can make money wrestling at night and keep my priestly duties during the day? He knew luchadores made a lot of money, but he wanted to make money not for himself, but for his orphan children. The odds were against him. He never fought before. He was overweight. But regardless, he made his own costume and wrestled at night for 2 years, keeping his identity hidden. When he was caught, he had problems with his bishops, and they told him what he was doing was absurd and embarrassing.
No, this is forbidden.
I knew it. He is not a man of God.
And he said, "I won't turn my back on the orphans. I make 5,000 pesos a month wrestling to provide for them. So if you want me to stop, I'll be here every first of the month to collect my check." They respected his answer and blessed him. Some of the townspeople made fun of his orphans, saying, "There goes that crazy priest and his street dogs." After it was revealed that he was a wrestler priest, he lovingly changed the name of his orphanage to Los Cachorros de Fray Tormenta. Cachorros meaning the puppies of Friar Storm. He became so well known in Mexico and even in Japan, where they made action figures and video games. He fought in tournaments all around the world. One testimony of a miracle happened in Japan, where a boy was paralyzed from the waist down, and Fray Tormenta was thrown out of the ring and laid on the floor in pain. The paralyzed boy, who was a fan of his, jumped out of his wheelchair and ran to him, wearing his mask, and told him, "Levántate, get back in the ring." The next day, the parents, with tears, found Fray Tormenta and told him about the miracle and thanked him and God. And of course, he inspired the comedy we all know today as NACHO LIBRE. Although one thing made him angry about the film. He always clarifies in interviews, I told him to use my mask, and I never flirted with any nuns. The movie is only inspired from me, but it is not my biography. Eventually, he got to meet Pope John Paul II, and when he introduced himself to the Pope, he said, I know you, Fray Tormenta, the wrestler. I wish there was more priests like you. For over 40 years, he raised over 2,000 orphans as if they were his own. And from those orphans, over 700 grandkids consider him their abuelo. And today, just like a proud father, he brags in every interview, keeping count. I raised this many doctors, this many lawyers, this many priests, this many luchadores, and this many grandchildren. Padre Fray Tormenta is still alive today, although he is going blind and is very elderly, and currently has a successor. Remember Chancho, the chubby kid from the movie who always looked up to Nacho? He's based on a real person today, known as Fray Tormenta Jr., who continues his legacy and looks after him till this day. Not all heroes wear capes, some wear masks and fight for orphans.
Proyectándolo contra los esquineros. A un lado Fray Tormenta. Derriba ahí contra Pablo Fuentes, se mete uno. Doble Nelson, aparece el hombre bala. Golpeando a Pablo Fuentes. Buena textura que está mostrando Fray Tormenta. Historia de ya algunos años. Ha demostrado plenamente. Bueno, vean, ahí está el hombre.
Si le dieran a escoger en este momento, ¿con qué se quedaría? ¿La iglesia o la lucha libre?
Yo creo que Fray Tormenta nunca hubiera existido sin ser sacerdote. ¿Sí me explico?
Sí.
Es una especie de mancuerna, ¿no?
Sí, va uno con otro ligado, ¿verdad?
Exactamente. Entonces, yo no puedo decir esto, ¿no? Lo único que sí, ¿no? Que yo le doy gracias a Tormenta. ¿Sí? Le doy gracias al Padre Sergio, que me hizo favor de portar esta máscara, ¿no? Y le doy gracias, te vuelvo a repetir, a Fray Tormenta, que me prestó su equipo para sacar a tantos niños adelante. Esa es mi satisfacción.
Exacto.
Y fíjate, ¿cómo se llama tu programa?
Luchando por tus sueños.
Exactamente, ¿no?